So should we start off by introducing ourselves?
Yeah, and then we could introduce the muscle owl. And
Oh,
then
yeah, let's introduce the muscle
yeah.
owl. Okay, so, well, the muscle owl started off as a Twitter feed about 9 months ago now. And it's kind of, evolved, I guess. We set it up primarily to amplify the voices of the people in the community, kind of the neuromuscular community and beyond, really. So I think we tweet about more general disability issues, things like that, but also fundraising within the muscular dystrophy community for muscular dystrophy charities. And we're quite keen on research projects and keeping up to date with trials and stuff like that as well. So we do a lot of that. It's really just to give support to the already pre-existing charities and fundraisers and supporters and campaigners, if that makes sense. So yeah, we've since branched out into muscleowl.com, where we put up articles, and well, this is our first podcast, so it's all a bit of fun. Is that cool? Do you reckon?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's perfect.
that best explains it. Right, now we can do our own introductions.
Yep.
So I don't know. Michaela, do you want to go first?
Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm the little Northern Ireland contingent of this little trio of people. I live
We're
with
not
you.
split up. We're all as one. We're all a team.
We are all as
You
one,
are
as long as
the
there is
contingent
Wi-Fi.
of Muscle Owl. But
Well,
yeah, all Northern Ireland posts do come from you, so yeah.
We're all as one, so long as there's Wi-Fi. I live with a neuromuscular condition. I have done so for my whole life. This is normality for me, so hopefully I can let you into that little bit of a world. I am fairly active within the community here in Northern Ireland and also in London, when I get over. And I suppose as well as kind of having that end of me, I have the student end and the social end, and hopefully you'll get to see how all that plays into the community as time goes on.
That's good. Michaela's a genius. You got a
Right.
first. You got a
Agreed.
first in your degree.
Can you tell you my results?
What, first? You don't need to tell us. First. 10 out of 10. A star.
Remember that exam I did that I wasn't well?
Sorry?
Remember that exam I did that I thought I failed because I wasn't well?
If Michaela thinks she fails every exam because she's not well, and then she passes
She does
flying
fine,
colours,
yeah.
and everyone goes, round of applause.
Yay!
No, I didn't feel it, so I'm okay.
Go on. Oh, but did you get a score?
I did 68. Well, no. I got 74 in the coursework, so I got 68 overall. So it must have been about 64.
Yeah, you just got a 74. Yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to mention any of my past marks when I was a student.
So you got a person in the class you didn't go to?
Sorry? I got a very good mark in a class that I didn't go to. Yeah, there was one module where I just should have turned up to classes and lectures more.
See, I did that once.
You did that one?
I didn't go and managed to ace it. I don't know how I did that.
I know how you did it. You just did an exam, and every exam you do, you ace it. That's how you
I don't know how I did it. I really don't.
Right, next introduction, anyway. Solomon.
Okay.
You don't need to tell us about any of your exam scores. It's all
okay, fine. Then agreed. Okay. Hi, I'm Solomon. I'm from London. I'm interested in collaboration, creativity, technology, advocacy, and storytelling. And basically, I'm here just to share my thoughts as someone with a neuromuscular condition as well, and just on disability, and just wanted to, share my thoughts, really.
Exactly, that's really cool. And Solomon, you have loads of great hashtags.
Yeah, hopefully.
Solomon is king of hashtags.
Yeah, too much.
At the end of the show, we decided Solomon's gonna do hashtag of the week. That's the thing, because as we said before,
I think we should rename Solomon to like hashtag king.
Hashtag no, please don't.
Hashtag king of the West. Hashtag king of the East. East London. East London massive. I like it. Well, yeah, no, that's cool. And my name is Peter Duffy. You might have seen me on Twitter, Peter Duff. I don't have a neuromuscular condition, but my brother has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. He's 23 years old, so we're quite close. I I worked for the Muscular Dystrophy campaign for quite a while, and I've done kind of fundraising. I'm really interested in raising awareness and all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes I do write articles that are slightly over opinionated, but we all have our opinions. So, it's good to share and talk about things, I think.
You know what my belief is that the only way we ever improve anything is to have opinions and debate them.
That's it. It's all about debating. Like we can say, look, I feel this way, you feel that way, and then at the end, I respect people who have really big beliefs and feelings. Like I don't care if you got really bad beliefs and feelings. if you've got them, I go,
stick to them.
Hats off to anyone who sticks to what they believe in.
Exactly.
Chris Hitchens once said, "It's the diversifiers who change things, not the people who try and make things peaceful. It's the kind of iconoclasts and whatever. So
yeah,
maybe it's not a bad thing." What were you going to say?
It's never a bad thing. I'm trying to think. There's a line I have called that just says it all, but I can't remember what one it was.
It's probably by Emerson.
Probably would be by Emerson.
Solomon Michaela loves Emerson. You can
having a whole friend. Emerson, Thoreau, Props, and Thoreau lived in a mine corner there.
I'm just a big fan of Thoreau because he just went off into the wilderness for 2.5 years and just lived in a shack. Yeah, and he just wrote about it. That's brilliant. But my thing with him is when I'm reading it, I'll kind of be like, he'll be talking about stuff I'm like, wow, yeah, this is great, transcendentalism, and then he'll just start talking about really boring stuff, and I'll just stuff.
Like that, and I'm like, yeah, I like that, and then first chapter it will just go on the floor, and then it comes back and things. But anything that's old and not of that era, I will read it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right. So that's...
We'll add that for future topic. This is a really interesting discovery story to do with Louisa May Alcott.
Oh, really?
Which I'm going to keep under my hat, yeah.
Oh.
Really
keep it under your hat. And then one day, in a few weeks' time, on the podcast, let it out your hat.
Yeah. No, it is really interesting.
Okay, so let's get on with the show. Hooray!
Yay!
I mean, the first hot topic we had is disability in dating, because I think, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. I'm not yay for that. I don't like to be.
And the only reason I'm yay for it this year is because I'm actually going out.
Oh yeah, you're going. Concert. Yeah, Michaela's going on 48-hour party. Yay. That's going to be crazy. You just going wild, having fun.
I like
well, we were talking because I watched The Undateables for the first time ever last night or the night before last, and I was trying to assess what its value was, the point of it was, and I guess I was kind of intrigued as to how you guys feel about that kind of thing being pressed in the news, in the media, and people analysing it, talking about it a lot. Do you think it's something that needs to be talked about, or do you feel that it should just be left to get on with on its own?
I think there's two things. I think it's good that it's actually being shown on the media, but just I haven't actually seen the show. What really turned me off is just the title itself, The Undateables.
Yeah.
It's such a negative word, and the way I've seen clips of it, and it just seems quite negative in the way they've done it. I don't know. I think it's positive that it's actually being shown in the media. But I think there would be a lot better ways, to get that debate with the general public and the media itself. I don't know. It just feels like it's done just as a gimmick. I don't know.
Yeah, in fact, I came to it with the exact same thing, thinking, Undateables, and I did actually say, I think, because we've got an article, it's just gone up now on the thing, it was an opinion piece that I wrote about the show, and I did say in it, how dare you call these people undateables? It's tricky because I had a qualm with that, and then watching the show, I also had a qualm with the fact that it's a bit kind of, it just glistens over actually some of the most important stuff. Like I say, there was a lady in a wheelchair and she's going out on dates and stuff, but I'm like, why aren't they showing the trouble she had getting in that bar? Why aren't they showing, her having to explain carer to the guys, her having to navigate a bus system afterwards? So that kind of thing, it's like, So I'm trying to say, well, is the thing of that program that it just wants a little happy story, bit of fun thing, or does it want to actually educate us? That was my problem.
Exactly. It seems like if it is something like this type of stories, if they are shown in the media, is it overly positive, like inspiration porn, or it's
Exactly.
extremely negative, and it's like there's nothing in between to show the actual realities of actually what it's like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think I know whenever I watched it, I purposely watched it from the very beginning because there was so much hype around it, and I was like, okay, I need to watch this. And I mean, yeah, it is very overtly positive. But what bugs me the most is that it actually gives us insight into dating agencies that are taking people with disabilities onto their books, and the vast majority of them are segregatory. So they
Yeah.
only deal with disability or they only deal with non-disabled,
Mhm.
which is the completely wrong way to go about it.
Yeah. No.
I
Exactly.
wouldn't do that with any other minority.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
why should we do it with us? And that's a really unique insight that it gives into that world. But I think I agree more or less with everything else. I mean, it is
Yeah.
overtly positive, and any disability that it does take seriously tend to be ones that they can kind of gloss over. They're not,
Yeah.
they don't have an accurate representation of a spectrum of disabilities. It tends to be one or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I do see it as it's quite sort of fanciful in its the strategies and techniques of the producers. But then that's what I say. I'm kind of like, well, actually, is it better than nothing at all? And I don't know. I'm probably not best to judge that, but I feel maybe it is.
The only way that to change it is actually have a lot more people talking about disability in an open way and actually saying, actually, this is realities and this is the misconceptions. And, just basically like what we're trying to do with the muscle hour, just mismasting, as Michaela said. And I think that's a great way to actually, to the public to say, actually, this person is quite interesting. Yes, he has a disability, but it's quite interesting as well. So I think that's really the only way that I can think of that would actually change the system, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we could put our worst things in inspirational, as much as I don't necessarily like it. But at the same time, if we don't normalise disability, we won't get to a point where it is normal. And if you look back to the Super Bowl and you look at the adverts, everyone was talking about the Toyota ad with the amputee in it, which was fine.
Yeah,
But
very
actually,
vaguely.
no one actually talked about the McDonald's ad, which was an inclusive ad. And I'm not going to tell you where the person is with the disability or who they are. Go and watch it and see if you can find them. And it took me 3 or 4 watches to find it.
How did you know you were
so
looking for it
inclusive.
then?
Because there was
You're looking.
a,
I'm sure McDonald's have done something good. I'm gonna figure this out.
Go and look at it. But it's, I had got a tip off from someone pretty well known in the community in America that it was there. And I went and looked. And yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic ad. And that's the way disability should be represented. It's normal.
Yeah,
and that's where we need to reach.
As inclusive.
I'm gonna have a look at that then, because you told me about that and I think I misunderstood it. I thought you were saying they did a worse ad than or they did a really bad ad or something.
No, the ad is cheesy and awful, but the way in which they put disability into it is incredible.
Yeah. I'll have a look.
So yeah, do watch it.
Because that is kind of my third problem with the Undateables show as a whole, is that it's segregatory, and I go over the top with kind of my opposition to like segregation and stuff. Like, I don't even like the Paralympics that much because they're not included in the main event.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be. I don't know, because it is tricky, but I sort of feel like Paralympic medal and Olympic medal, they should just be all the Olympics. It should be just an Olympic medal for a Paralympic event.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the Special Olympics.
Yes.
If you know anything about that, but that's basically it's mainly based in America, and it's mainly for people with learning disabilities. They're trying to make it like the Paralympics, but it's really not. It's just everybody gets a medal regardless of how well they do. And so I was watching a documentary about wheelchair rugby, and one of the guys in that said that with his girlfriend, when they went to his parents' house, that his in-laws basically said, okay, so when are you starting the Special Olympics?
Oh,
So
God.
even though he's in the Paralympics actually fighting
Yeah.
for a gold medal,
Yeah.
and they thought that he had a learning disability and that he's just going to get a pat on the back and,
Oh, gosh.
you know.
Yeah. No,
It's,
that's
Yeah.
so
that's terrible.
I think that's the challenge. Is
Mm,
how do we actually, as Michaela said, make disability normal
mm.
and make it, you know.
In fact, that's a big thing. You've lived in America. What's your opinion? Because I know that Americans, to me, on the outside, seem like they're much more okay with things. But is it still a segregational kind of okay, or is it inclusive?
But I lived about over 10 years in America, and for the first 10 years of my life in the UK. And in those days, I had no choice in the matter. I was forced to go to a special school without any reassessment, without any kind of
Oh gosh.
knowledge if I could or couldn't do that. But immediately when I went to America, they put me into like mainstream classes, and so they gave me, even though I was on the special education department because I needed like a note taker, I needed additional support, but immediately they put me into mainstream classes, and then with everybody else, and then
Yeah.
within 2 years I started getting straight A's,
Oh wow.
and then I went on to.
Yeah.
I had the right support.
But Solomon, you know what really amazes me about the fact that you went on to get straight A's and everything is that when you were in the UK, all they taught you were nursery rhymes.
Yeah,
Am I right?
exactly,
Oh, really?
exactly. Basically, every single day I could tell you so many stories about that.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all we did every single day
No
is
way.
singing nursery rhymes.
What? How long
And
for? Like 6 hours?
about 5 most of the day,
That's
and we had playtime and lunchtime. And like to this day, I know every nursery rhyme by heart. So
well,
I'm
at
going
least.
I'm
I
going to
mean,
add
there are
that.
silver linings, Solomon. Silver
Yeah.
linings.
I'm going to add that onto my CV. So
That's on it.
that might get me a job, hopefully. So yeah, it was a challenge because in America they treat disability very differently, much more positively. Nobody, basically, the way the system is set up in America, they don't care who you are as long as you can make money for them, right?
Yeah.
Which is good and bad. The challenge I faced in America is that everything is privatized in terms of healthcare, so it was very difficult to get any kind of support, even from the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And so it was very difficult because, my family was spending a lot of money to get the medical supplies I needed to get all the medical equipment. Ambulance journeys cost a lot of money. And when I was in the hospital in 97, I had pneumonia for 3 months. The only thing that the nurses did was change the IV and give me medicine. And at that time, we had that copay insurance. So we would pay 20% and the insurance would pay the rest. So we ended up with a bill of £40,000 at the end of it. And that was only 20% of the cost. So it's...
So let me get you right saying that was just for IV antibiotics?
Yeah, just because I wasn't able to eat. I was near my mouth for 3 months.
You were taking CPN then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's just insane for us.
Yeah,
like that's...
So
I mean, I know our families that for like a bag, just a simple banana bag of IV fluids, it costs upwards of a couple of £100.
Yeah.
And like,
People,
that's such a
the thing
simple
is,
thing.
that's why I'm so grateful for people say so many bad things about the NHS, but I'm telling you guys, if I personally didn't have this kind of support of having carers now and having specialist hospitals, I don't know how I would survive, It'd be so challenging to get that kind of specialist care, to get my needs right, and it's like, it's really hard to explain to people that, yes, the NHS is not
as long as
perfect.
we're able to keep it the way it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't worry. Michaela, you were at a neuromuscular clinic yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know much about like...
Well, I'm always referred to it as muscle clinic. Everyone over here now calls it muscle clinic.
Okay.
And we have pediatric and adult consultants that run their clinic at the same time, so everyone kind of knows everyone. Whether you're on adult side or pediatric side. And if, unfortunately we did have a much stronger clinic. But as time as we're on, we've kind of lost the support from higher levels. But like our consultants are godsend, and thankfully, yesterday we had Belfast Mayor Nicola Mallon up to have a nosy around and to see how epic the team are up there. I just wish we could give them more support to do what they want and what they need to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
But unfortunately, we can't do that. No, we need a lot more support to give them more time. And my own consultant,
Yeah.
his backlog of patients goes to 2.5 years.
Wow.
So that's how often he gets to see patients.
Gosh.
I seen him about 2 years ago, but he swallowed me in
Crazy.
because I had an injury. So that things like that. I've seen it be over 3 years from I've had an official appointment. Lucky enough, I've been okay. But the service is under pressure more, I think, in Northern Ireland than it is anywhere else in the UK.
And is that NHS run? Because I mean, I know.
Yeah, no, we're like, pretty much completely NHS run over here. I mean, there are people who find services elsewhere because it's easier and quicker to get done. But we're largely within the NHS. I think we're lucky in that we do get more out of the NHS here than we do than you would maybe in England on the Wales. But you do end up with a longer waiting time and a lot more banging heads against walls to try and get somewhere.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is, especially with neuromuscular conditions, there's no consistency across the country in terms of care. So in one part of the country you might have really excellent care, yet in another part the same care is not there. And so basically that affects the quality of life, the standard of life, and even in some cases the life expectancy because there's no support. And so that's the challenge. How do we actually get that and ensure that everybody has the same opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's really, really, I mean, I suppose this goes across the whole of the UK. There's if you're born with type 1 SMA, which is the most extreme and the most severe, and the average life expectancy, there's no point in lying, is true. But there are about 30% that can live beyond life expectancy and live normal lives. I mean, I know of a young man who's 18, and that's in America because they get the right intervention and the right treatment. But in the UK, it's seen as less of an option and more of a selfish thing to do. And I suppose that's cultural as well. But, I mean, there is a family here who are pursuing the American standard of care for their child, and she's doing really, really well. She's thriving. You do see improvements every day. You do see people giving everything a chance to work and going to America and looking at what the standards of care are and using them. And the more we use them, the better how we will get, but we do need the funding in order for that to work.
Yeah, no, that's really good. All right, so, well, we, ended up going different topics there, everything. Oh, Solomon, we've got your hashtag of the week coming up later.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Okay. Not off the top of my head.
You're gonna think you'll get one by the end. It'll just come to you.
Hopefully.
And you got because I don't think we said we liked. Me and Michaela liked your hashtag that's really, really long. Like you did something like, I'm not inspirational, I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
I think that's it because it's just like hashtags are meant to be short, and you're just like, nah, I'm gonna do this.
I'm quite obsessive about hashtags. I shouldn't be that much, and I'm a bit too obsessive with hashtags. I shouldn't be that obsessive with like. No, hashtag every single word I can. The and two and it.
No, but yeah. I've noticed that you do sometimes go over the top with it, but I mean it's all worth it for the hashtag.
Yeah. I have to say the really funny thing is that when me and Peter tried to emulate it, it just completely failed.
Oh gosh. Michaela signed off to me the other night with some like really long hashtag. That was pretty damn cool.
What was it?
Oh, I don't know. It was like
I can't
something
remember.
like
I know the one you mean.
I think you did hashtag. I forgot to say goodbye.
Yes, that's what it was. That was one of them. There was 3. I can't remember what the other 2 were.
I'll have to get back. But anyway. Yeah, we do kind of fail. None are as good as your overly long ones.
Totally not good. But like yours are epic, Solomon. We need a few of those.
Yeah, hashtag of the week coming at the end of the podcast then. Solomon's got a thing in his feet now.
Hopefully.
Right. Should we move on to the next one? wow, this is a big topic, Michaela. So, right,
Right.
I'm going to right. It's feeding tube week. Did you say that it is that?
It is National Feeding Tube
That is
Awareness Week.
like that is insane, right?
I didn't know actually
Like,
had that.
how did? When's it gonna be chocolate Nutella muffin week? Like, where I can
See, it
just eat as
technically
many.
is.
It is.
It technically is.
Oh, it
It's only when we
technically is
feeding
because
tube is
it's
on a high calorie diet.
Could you put a muffin into a feeding tube though? Is that not?
Well,
Well, if you blend it,
yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
and then it would probably
You wouldn't
it
do that
would.
because it would have no nutritional value. Is that?
You
Okay.
could do Nutella though. If you melted the Nutella down and added milk, probably do Nutella, but you would end up with the change the shape
Yeah, and
afterwards.
I mean, you wouldn't.
And-
You won't really taste it, would you? So would it not be?
I knew a few people in the past
Hmm?
that used to put vodka down the peg
Oh, really?
I'm totally yes.
and get really drunk. It was quite funny.
That's
I
insane.
know. I currently know a guy who says all sorts of alcohol down in his tube. Everything.
Oh,
It-
really? But does it get you more drunk, or does it get you less drunk, or?
I can't answer that because I've never done it.
Same here.
Really, like, is there not a slight urge to just give it a little try? A couple of shots down the tube?
There is with things that I'd like to drink that I can't drink, but not with alcohol.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
but would you? I mean, do you get any sort of? I can't imagine you get any sort of taste or anything from it. Is
The
it?
funny thing is, I do.
Oh, really?
Not everyone does, but I do. 'Cause
Wow.
I haven't had a lot of people who get peg tube, and not so much in my time, but certainly now you get what's called a disintoxication done, which stops them from being able to actually throw up, so that they don't get sick from it. So
see.
what happens with me is because I don't have that done, anything that's in my stomach, if I'm lying flat, can come up into my throat and I can taste it.
Oh gosh!
It's
Wow.
a bit gross, but you can't taste it. Yeah.
No, that's really
Which means more than it's awful. It's all you can taste is the hunger of the overnight food. But yeah, you can taste it.
See, I mean, for me, because I mean, I'm more aware of kind of people in the Duchenne community, and that's not something that I've been aware of really much before. So for me, finding out about it and learning about it was something completely new. And I think the way that because you've been doing you've been doing like a status blog post about it each day this week, haven't you? And it's like, having talked to you
Sure,
last
yeah.
week about it, the way you like talked about it in such a positive light was, I mean, it just really, really made me think completely differently about the whole,
Yeah.
the whole thing and whatever.
I remember I got my first NG tube down, which is down the nose and into the stomach, when I was 5.5-ish.
Yeah.
I got my tonsils out when I was 5 and stopped swallowing. Or I didn't stop swallowing when I was able to swallow, but not to the extent that I needed to. Lost a load of weight, ended up being 22 pounds in weight, and got a tube stuck down my throat. Which I was not too happy about, cried for days, and then
And you were 5.
Yeah, my sister at the time, who was still with us, she loved to play with it. So she, every time it was feed time or medicine time, she was begging me to let her do it. and most of the time, because I was an awkward little 5-year-old, I wouldn't let her do it. But yeah, I mean, I had that I didn't get my actual tube put until I was about 8. And then I had 2 of those before I eventually got the tube that I have now. So, I mean, it's been around for a long time for me.
Yeah.
A very long time. It's become very, very normal.
So there's like 2 different methods, really. So there's the kind of
Yeah.
through the nose thing, and then there's the kind of peg thing.
Well, there's 3.
Oh, really?
There's 3, yeah. There's one that can feed into the bowel as well.
I see. See, for me, I'd think that that's the same as a peg because I don't know about the kind of differences.
They technically are probably, but they're not. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know enough about them.
And I think the thing for me was it's always a topic that I never knew anything about. So it was just something that I guess I thought it was worse than it actually was. I mean, that through the nose thing sounds really rough. I don't think...
Basically, because personally I have a peg myself, and that's something that I'm not really said to anybody. And I think talking to Michaela is quite interesting that not many people know about it and not really understand it. And so I've had a the NG tube through the nose as well. And the problem with that one is that you have to change it every 2 weeks, and taking that in and out through your nose and into your stomach is very difficult to do that.
So when you changed it every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, yes.
I kept mine for 6 months.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But wait, so that stays in there for. So you go to bed and it stays in.
Yeah, basically it stays. And the problem with the NG tube is that it's happened to me in the past. That when I get really sick and start vomiting, then the NG tube comes out into your throat, and you end up. So half ends up in your nose, and the other half in your mouth. So it's very uncomfortable. And with the actual peg in your stomach, it's made life so much more easier. And this basically, because I can eat in the daytime and drink, but I can't eat enough to sustain myself. So as Michaela knows, without that, it's very difficult, because even like medications, I can't have tablets. Obviously, I can't swallow them. And having like antibiotics or like, any kind of medication is really difficult to have that for you continuously. So having a peg to the stomach means that this helps me to stay healthy and to stay, as Michaela will tell you, she's quite good at explaining it. I'm not doing a very good job, but it basically really helps, a great deal, just to keep me healthy and keep my nutrition levels up, keep me healthy.
Yeah, I think
I can imagine it gives so much more freedom.
It does.
That you don't. I couldn't, because I'm really like OCD, obsessive about things, and just having that in my nose all the time, I think that would irritate me. And
I had cuts in my nose.
Gosh. So comparing that to with that in mind, like no wonder you're so positive about feeding tube week.
And the thing is, when you go out with the NG tube, I can't tell you how many, when I was in school in America, how many kids thought I had oxygen. It's really hard to explain. No, it's not oxygen. It's really hard to explain what it is.
You're right though. Actually, I know people who still believe they're oxygen tubes, and I can guarantee you, if you see a yellow thing down someone's nose, it's an oxygen tube.
Michaela, I will put my hand up and I will say, you know what? When I see people with things going through their nose, I thought it was like the girl in The Fault in Our Stars. Those tubes that she had.
They're oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I always I didn't realise that people had permanent that for feeding. I thought it might be when they're in hospital and just not being able to move around and that kind of stuff.
And speaking of hospitals, normally when you do hear of like NG tubes or even pegs in the stomach, in the news or the video, you only see it in like a very severe case of like a locked-in syndrome or like a very sick infant. You don't actually hear about.
Don't hear about it in a healthy world.
Exactly. So that's the thing. You only hear it's very extreme cases. It doesn't really say actually it can really improve my quality of life. It can, like for me, it's really improved my quality of life. Really kept me healthy and made sure I've not ended up in A&E again.
No, for me, like I just probably wouldn't be. I would have starved to death a long time ago. And that's a painful death, which I'd rather not have.
I think of it from a standpoint that maybe in society we think, oh no, we don't want to think about that because it's a bad thing, blah blah. But put in that perspective, and you realise that it's actually something that not only saves your life but gives you so much more freedom and helps you live better. Like that's I mean, Michaela was saying, I love this. This is sort of a funny fact. The other day, Michaela was saying, like sometimes when girls want to lose weight, they eat celery because eating it gives you eating celery. They say you burn off more calories eating it than you put on when it's inside. And Michaela said that when she eats stuff normally through her mouth, everything is like that because you have to use more energy. So like chocolate is celery for Michaela. That's really cool.
It's cool. I mean, the only thing I actually probably get any sort of energy from is tea, and that's only when I poison it with sugar, which I don't like to do. So it's It's a unique thing. My dad says he
especially
will probably be happier with me if I am more chocolate, but I ain't gonna be doing that. So, um,
is that, and Makeda will probably tell you as well as older, or I should say older, as matured people with muscular dystrophy, as we get older,
Mm,
it gets harder and harder because muscular dystrophy, the main characteristics of all types of muscular dystrophy is that it's a muscle wasting disease. And
mm,
so over time, the muscles in the throat and your mouth
mm,
basically get weaker and weaker and weaker. And,
mm.
even myself, as I get older, I'm finding it eat harder and harder to eat
Yeah.
certain foods. So there's some foods like spaghetti, I stay away from that completely. And
Yeah.
even over time, rice, even though I love rice,
Yeah.
that Chinese food is amazing. So it
Love
gets
all
harder.
Chinese.
It's getting harder and harder to eat that. And so,
Oh no.
and
it,
if not having the peg in my stomach would mean, I wouldn't, as Makeda said, it would probably starve to death.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain what that means, like, to be healthy and stuff.
Mm,
But
yeah.
Makeda, I think you would agree that it really makes a huge difference, especially when you're unwell as
mm.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I can demonstrate it before I started proper feeding and had my spine straightened. I got up at 10 o'clock in the morning. Went to school, usually in hospital. Come home, went to bed at 2. Got up again at 3 for an hour or 2. Went back to bed at 6. Got up, and then went to bed at 9 and slept the whole night through. So
Okay.
I had what, maybe 8 hours a day that I was actually functioning.
Yeah.
My body was just starving.
Yeah.
Starving for oxygen, running,
Yeah.
and starving for food, and it just couldn't cope.
Mm.
So to have a method by which you can be healthy, and I mean, like today, I'm up at what, 10, so I will be in bed maybe at 2 o'clock today, and I won't sleep. I
Yeah.
won't sleep until that's done. So how many hours? I don't even know how many hours that is, but like that will be a really long day that actually won't annoy me at all.
Yeah.
Okay, then I wanted to ask you a quick question. When you first got the peg in the stomach, was it very hard for your body to adjust? Because I remember when I got it in '99, it basically, my body for the first year or two, I couldn't stop vomiting because it was very hard for my body to have.
I know exactly what you have, but I didn't have it. The the only part that I found hard was turning the tube. So
Yeah,
to explain this for everyone, because there's a number of stages that you go through to get
yeah,
what me and Solomon have now, which is called the Mickey button, and it's
yeah,
low profile. You can't see it; it has no tube on the end of it until you connect it. But when it's whenever you're at the early stages of getting the tube put in, you have what's called the peg, which has a tube on the end of it and a disc at the back, which, a bit like an earring, establishes a hole for the tube to go in and out of. And whenever you get that done, it can crust off, it can be very sore,
yeah,
it can bleed. And I find that quite hard because you have to turn it at least twice a day
exactly,
to allow
exactly.
the hole to form. And I find that quite difficult. So my aunt actually came over from England, and she got a cotton wool ball and a hot water, and she would just run the cotton wool ball with the hot water around the tube and slowly turn it.
Yeah,
And I have never felt anything so soothing in all my
yeah,
life. I honestly, even now, I'm tempted to go and get hot water and just run around the tube. I mean, it's all it is just away. So like, even though it was sore and traumatic, it wasn't actually that bad. I've heard of worse. But yes, Solomon, I know a friend of mine actually is in hospital at the moment with that. We're
yeah.
trying to get her stomach to calm down, and it's safe when it needs to get safe.
Yeah,
But
because it took me a long time to actually get used to it, and once I did, it was fine, and now it's absolutely fine. But
Yeah.
yeah,
it took at least a year or so to actually, because after you have the surgery, it's very strange feeling. Like you're like, okay, what's this in my stomach? Why? And in the first year or two, I didn't want it, and basically the doctors in America said, okay, we can take it out, but then what that would mean is that you wouldn't be able to eat, you wouldn't be able to be in the hospital, you would have to have the NG tube, you would have to be, in a much more severe situation. I said, okay, fine. I kept it, and and I'm glad I did because it really, has
yeah.
helped me a great deal, and so,
I mean, I know I certainly did not want mine when I would quite happily stay with the NG tube. What happened with me was that my stomach was incredibly small because I couldn't eat the volume that I needed to eat. And
Exactly.
my first energy tube moved and sat on my lung and made me breathe funny noises. So we put it out at home, and I sat off an actual bowl of cornflakes. That is the only bowl of cornflakes I have ever ate in full. And
Yeah.
I wanted to eat. I desperately wanted to eat. But my body just couldn't do it. It physically was not possible. And even with the morning of the surgery, I was like, no, I'll eat. And they were like, you can't eat. You physically can't do it. And they put the tube in. And thankfully I had a really good doctor. And who would brainstorm anything. Great guy who looked after it from then till now, really. And even now I don't really have much of an issue.
Yes, same here.
It's an issue. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's not something I think about very often.
And the thing is, I don't know if you find, okay, that for me, having a peg, it doesn't interfere as much as an NG tube. Like, in a day-to-day life, that having that, it really was quite irritating. It was quite visible. And now this having a peg, it's just something, okay, you just have it at night, it's there if you need it in emergency, and it's just, it's something that's there that helps you, and it doesn't really get in the way too much, if you know what I mean. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, I think with the NG tube as well, you had to like this test every time, and you were never guaranteed it would be in the right place. Whereas at least with a peg tube, you are guaranteed that it is in the right place, and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's there for whatever you might need it for. I mean, I'm not beyond sticking whatever I need to down it. Or if I have a medicine that I normally take my life and I have to take it, I'll stick inside the tube. It's not. It's a big advantage, and an advantage that a lot of people don't realise is that you can throw up through it, which is really handy. I mean,
what, through that? Like, so not through your mouth? Wow.
Yeah. You just open it up and you throw up through it. It's much easier.
Wow.
Much
because
easier.
I was thinking about, Solomon, you were just saying about how it made you sick for so long afterwards. That must have been so painful for you.
It was because I was quite sick before that as well, because I had pneumonia, so I couldn't eat much anyway. And so having the peg, that kind of irritated my stomach more. And so it was very difficult to get used to it. But once your body does get used to it, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I can imagine the whole notion of the whole thing of being sick when it's you're having trouble swallowing food anyway. So it's that more painful to throw up than
it's not really painful. It's just irritating more than anything. It just like if you're sick every morning, but then once your body settles down, I think that's something that people shouldn't really be afraid of. I think it's something that you have to expect, and I think if in the long term, if it's something that's going to, number one, improve the quality of life, and number two, keep you alive, then I don't see it's difficult to consider it. But I think it's something that you need to consider in terms of actually, is this going to be better for my quality of life or worse? And I think Caleb could agree. It really improves the quality of my life anyway. So
I mean, I went through that phase. I just went through it with an NG tube. So every time I threw up, the NG tube come out. Different kind of thing. But, it's just that was when I went through that. But now, if I'm sick, I can open the tube. It doesn't always work, but it does help. And I mean, it's something that it sounds awful when we're talking about like when we throw up, how do we throw up? But like it's not it's not as awful as it sounds. Like it really isn't. It's just freedom. It gives you freedom.
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
if you've got a sore head, you're going to take a paracetamol.
Yeah.
If we can't eat, we go in the tube stuck in our stomach. It's not really that much different.
That's the best explanation. For me, I mean, I see so much correlation between so many different things like that in having grown up with like my brother has Duchenne, so you kind of see things that it'll happen and you see them and you think, oh no, that's going to be terrible, having a back operation or having to use a cough assist machine or things like that, and then you see the person using them and you go, actually, what, this helps this person. This is a really good thing, so it's sort of a strange thing.
like, I mean, if I lived in the era that you really wanted to live in, which would be like back when Thoreau was walking the hills of Concord, there would be none of this. None of
Yeah.
this would be here.
What's that,
I
1800s?
would not have survived.
Oh yeah.
even if you look like 20 years ago, these kind of things, you would hardly see them in the community. We would either be in the care home or in the hospital.
I mean, I was one of the first home ventilation.
Yeah.
So like things like that are commonplace now, or at least where I am anyway. They're commonplace. This is like things like that are becoming more common, and they sound awful, but they're really not
It's
that
just
bad, and
really,
they're fun. To a degree, they're fun.
exactly. It's
there's
just
not
really,
fun at all.
exactly. I think for me personally, that you have to imagine, Peter. So if you have like a headache or has an illness, you can go to the GP, get some tablets, some paracetamol, whatever, or have those get better, antibiotics. But as somebody with a neuromuscular condition, if you can't swallow or tablets or have medicine through the mouth, what do you do? And what is the other way? There is no other way to do that. And that's, for me, personally, that was something that I've not really spoken about in the past, and because I was quite anxious about, okay, what is if somebody's going to say, or if they don't like me, there's all kinds of stupid things that go through your head.
Of course.
But actually talking to Michaela and to you, it's really enlightening and really helpful for me that I'm able to actually talk about it. I think, people need to get over themselves, and actually, as society, you all need to get rid of our preconceptions and actually, this is actually a positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anybody who doesn't like it or doesn't want to be my friend because of it, then they're not really my friend.
I mean, for me, that's the the idea of someone having a problem is just that's crazy for me. And I think, Michaela, the way you handle with or the way you deal with telling people about things, I think is the absolute best way. You just say things how they are, and you say things with pride. It's and that's for me the best way to be about it, because and I think it helps other people too, because other people, like someone was just saying, it helps it helps him because he sees you going, oh wait a minute, and I think the way you are with your things, you kind of I think you lead the way. Go, Michaela.
The future Dr. Hollywood.
Dr.
Hollywood, soon to be Dr. Hollywood. We had to get that in.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's
sorry, I let it out.
It is something that is really unique, and I'm really glad to have. But I do have to ask a question. Solomon, do you have a Mickey button?
Sorry?
Do you have a Mickey button?
Yes, I do.
Right. Did you know that they're going to turn them green?
Sorry, say that again?
Did you know that they're about to turn them green?
Really?
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
This is where the fun comes in, right?
This is all above my head, this.
Right.
Is it
they're going to turn them green?
Go down with the dark.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're changing the connections on the end of your extension set.
Yeah.
And on the end of the button.
All right.
Right, fluorescent green, so that they can run the dark.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
So it hasn't finished in here yet. I've seen a few kids in America that have them now.
That's
so
cool.
we reckon by the end of this year we will all have green glowing bells.
That's awesome. That's a really cool. That's a really cool party trick.
Isn't it?
Clever, yeah. On the dance floor, just
Exactly. Having some vodka through the peg on the dance floor.
Oh, that's it. That's what it's all about.
No, it is. I mean, it is such a fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
To watch all the differences, and I mean, like a lot of people that specialize them as well. Friend of mine in America, he has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on his, and I'm like, how cool is that? Like, why would you not want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on your stomach?
Exactly.
Yeah. It does sound awful, but it is so much fun when you really get into it.
Oh yeah, no,
exactly.
I mean, it must end up just feeling like a part of you.
Well, actually, funny enough, when we change it, it just feels really strange. She's just nothing there, and I'm like, no, get the other one back in. That's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I prefer the tube to be there. Although it is funny because occasionally people will think they pulled it out. and I'm not putting that in my belly button.
Oh.
That is my two. There are two different things. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun to have a tube and to have the energy that you need to do whatever.
Exactly, just to
you're gonna do.
just to go out, to be able to just to enjoy life and to, just to do what you need to do, as Michaela said,
And not have to stress about what you're gonna eat.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that sounds. I mean, it certainly enlightened me into something that, I was very ignorant about. I just didn't have a clue about it. So. Yeah. Right. That's amazing. Should we? That's so much information, by the way. I feel like I know everything about them.
You're going to join the TV club?
They're going to be green.
I know. Whenever I first read it, I was like, no, please don't. And now that I've seen a child with it, I'm like, yeah, I want one. It's like in the iPhone, you're like, no, don't try so it's broken. And then it comes out, you're like, yeah, I want one. So the sooner I get one, I don't think we have any that's in the dark yet. So
yeah, exactly.
It'll come when it does, because it'll be
the first order.
It would be cool if you could have, like, in the future, you could get, like, built-in Wi-Fi or something on the peg. So you could be a walking hotspot, go around. Go down the dark hotspot, that would be awesome.
That is
what's that? The extra food store, the extra energy from the food.
Exactly.
The extra food
or we could broadcast. We could be like them. This is really ridiculous. It's just from ancient aliens, but if you had,
what's this very serious suggestion? That
if we could have, if we broadcast electricity through power tubes. I mean, they broadcast electricity through the pyramids, so why not power tubes?
That is.
Exactly.
That's futuristic. That's the opposite of the of the quality of this podcast. Retro. Yeah. That is futuristic.
Well, technically it's retro because the pyramids were built I don't know when, and they broadcast electricity. So technically, if the Egyptians can do it, we can do it.
That's a motto to live your life.
Exactly.
I was not going to build a pyramid tomorrow, but then I thought the Egyptians can do it. We can do it.
We can do that today, but anyway.
That's why I got that big bloody sphinx in the garden. The Egyptians can. See, at this point in the show, this is where we come to fundraising bit. So we can say if people want to tweet in over the next couple of weeks, tweet us at MuscleL. If you've got a fundraising event or whatever else, and we can mention your event, talk about your event, maybe you could call in and we can have maybe a certain fundraiser here and there on the show as well.
Yeah.
I think this section is just a good section for us to talk about people in the community and what's going on. Since it's the first week, I don't know of too many fundraising events going on this specific weekend. Michaela, do you know of?
I know we have nothing this particular weekend, but I do know we have a few things coming up. I know Team Callum have a number of things going on, so hi Team Laura and Callum. Okay. But they have a few things coming up that will be in aid of the MDC, the Western Industry Campaign. Yeah. And they have, I think they actually have a production going on in the school. They have a skydive coming. So they have lots of exciting events to check them out. They've been getting up to lots of mischief over the next little while. I do have something else, and I can't remember what it was, which is really not good of me. I know there's going to be abseils down the Europa. Anyone who knows Belfast will know what the Europa Hotel is and how tall it is. So there's an opportunity to abseil down that. And I think that's more or less it, from what I've heard of anyway. And so if you do know, let us know if you do have something coming up. And we will give you a mention and cheer you on.
That's what we're here for. I mean, I'm just looking at our Twitter feed and the people I've got back to in the last couple of days. I noticed. Did you see? I think Bedford South School did a tweet for Target MD. They said, "Can you feel the energy as we hop for #muscular dystrophy?" And I saw it's a quite a neat photo. Just a load of people hopping. Just doing a hop for muscular.
It just sounds so cool.
As I said, like, you're hopping for muscular.
And it's so cool. Yeah, no, I've just remembered what our other thing was.
Go on, what's your thing?
This Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday the whatever.
Yeah.
Friday the 20th. There is a pop-up shop on the Lisbon Road in Belfast
Pop-up
for
shop.
the Muscular Dystrophy
If I
campaign.
was only in Belfast, I'd go to that pop-up shop,
Haven't
buy
seen
everything
it.
they have.
Speaking of
Chocolates, whatnot.
speaking of hopping, it just reminded me. Several years ago, I had a dream that I couldn't walk, but I could hop.
You could hop.
I
That's
was hopping.
amazing.
Oh my god!
And instead of walking, I was like hanging like a monkey on the door frames of all the buildings.
Wait,
Like,
you're
it
hanging
was
like
a
a
really
monkey
weird
with-
dream.
Wow.
Like I couldn't walk, but I could hop.
You could hop and you could hang like a monkey.
I was swinging on all the door frames of all the buildings. And it was
Wow.
like, oh, the way this
So
dream
you're
was
kind of like a hopping monkey Spider-Man.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
That's amazing. Solomon, maybe this is, a special type of muscular dystrophy. Have you ever tried hopping?
Exactly. That could be a hashtag. Hop for
That's
muscular dystrophy.
I once, just when you mentioned that you had a dream that you hopped, I once had a child ask me if because I couldn't walk when I was awake, that I should walk instead.
Do you what instead?
Sleepwalk.
Sleep. Oh.
I thought that was really cool. I went, I think we should have a national hopping day.
National hopping.
Exactly.
I like the fact that hopping is a strange thing. It has no real reason except when maybe you're running across a sandy beach, or if you've just hurt your foot. Yeah, hopping is good in that instance, so you don't have to put pressure on it. But like to hop to something very serious, right? We're going to raise some money. Why? Because lots of people have got muscular dystrophy. Okay, we're going to help them out. Yeah, we're going to do. What should we do? Right, we're going to hop for like a few minutes. All right, together. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm sure they had an absolute. Well, it looks amazing. Like you should see the picture.
Yeah.
One of the pages, you'll see the picture. It is so good.
Yeah.
And well done, guys. I like it.
Maybe we could start this up then. A national hopping muscle out of the muscular dystrophy.
Yeah. And this.
Here, hop hooray.
Well,
What's the name? Hop hooray.
Yeah, exactly.
hop. Wow, that's good.
That's
I
all.
like it. I like it.
Should that be a hashtag?
No, I knew you were going to say that, Solomon, you have to think of your own hashtag. This is the part of the show which is the end of the show, and Solomon finishes off the end of the show with his hashtag of the week.
Okay. Really well.
We could go for a hop if you like. Hop hooray.
The only one that is coming to my head, but the thing is, I don't know if it will make quite sense because I know that you've seen my article, Peter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say the one about the lady from Australia, the Australian journalist. I should talk about inspiration porn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
what, is it the long one that I said I liked in the first place?
No, we could say that we are not inspiration porn. That could be the hashtag.
That's good, but I actually preferred the really longer one, which was, I am not inspirational, I'm just living my life.
Okay, I can use that one then.
No spaces.
Okay.
Should we have that as hashtag of the week?
We can do.
I
Solomon
think
is
that-
not
I think that's
inspirational,
the
he's just living his life.
Yeah, if you want to.
Hey, right, that's hashtag.
Okay, hashtag of the week. Okay, done.
That's going
Right,
to end up
guys.
hashtag of the year. It's so cool.
Fantastic podcast, guys. I've had a great time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
And just
Oh, go on.
quick, one more.
Solomon's got
quick
one
thing.
more thing before the end of the podcast.
Yeah, this is not just a podcast just for you guys.
What?
Just after
Solomon, we'll do this at the end. We're doing the end of the
Okay.
podcast. All right?
Okay.
This is the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Right, now you can say it, Solomon.
Okay.
I might keep that in. That was brilliant. Go on.